Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day.
There is great news for the department. This afternoon, the approval of mass vaccination for the island of San Andres was announced. This news was reported by Congressman Jorge Mendez and later confirmed by the Minister of Health.
In a publication made by the representative to the chamber, Jorge Mendez, it was known that the Ministry of Health confirmed the mass vaccination for the island of San Andres and that it will be at the end of the month of June.
I have indeed just received this important news from the Minister of Health, Dr. Fernando Ruiz, because of the insistence we have had on the need for mass vaccination. Since we live exclusively from tourism and we are the most exposed, so today we received this great news. At the end of this month, the Johnson & Johnson vaccines are arriving and they are the ones that will be supplied.
Among the news delivered today at the 87 PMU, the Minister of Health recalled that some days there had been talk about the unification of the stage in some regions, either due to the territorial dispersion or due to the public order situation. The Minister emphasized that progress will be made with the unification of stages in different departments, including San Andres.
La población de San Andrés.
The population of San Andres and Old Providence, in particular San Andres, taking into account the fact that the population of Old Providence had already been vaccinated in a special plan that was carried out.
Governor-elected Everett Hawkins Shogwin thanked the national government for the great news that will benefit so much the insular population.
Today, when the President and the Ministry of Health confirmed that the vaccine from Jensen Factory for San Andres, which is a single dose, will give us the opportunity to vaccinate the entire population. It will give us peace of mind in terms of health.
The governor also invited the community to be cautious and to continue applying the biosecurity protocols in the department.
In view of the increase of COVID-19, the government and the department's unions saw the need to seek a mass vaccination for the islands of San Andres, which could allow immunization of the entire population. The Health Secretary Julian Davis Robinson explained how this process went.
It was a work led by the departmental government based on technical grounds of public health, where we requested several times the vaccination of the island of San Andres as a tourist reference in Colombia, and also because of the high level of contagions that we had been suffering in this third peak.
Similarly, the Secretary of Health indicated another of the arguments that were used before the Ministry of Health.
Although we are a tourist island, we are also a family-based community where we all know each other or recognize each other. So there has been a high degree of impact due to deaths from contagions. So we made the request for mass vaccination with the support of unions such as the Chamber of Commerce, representatives to the House and others. For that reason, the approval of mass vaccination for San Andres was achieved.
The Secretary of Health has already started meetings today to plan the order of the mass vaccination so as not to generate agglomerations that could worsen the current situation. According to the Health Secretary, these meetings will be attended by the different vaccination IPS, where they will set a fixed goal to complete the vaccination process with a daily goal of 1,000 people, taking into account that the vaccines are received in the department and the weather conditions allow immunizing of the 30,000 people who are yet to receive their vaccine.
News for entrepreneurs. Semprende Projects and the Digital Business Transformation Center for the Archipelago are coming to the island. The launching of this project took place today.
INNPULSA Colombia and the Chamber of Commerce of San Andres, together with the Strategic Alliance of the Island Department, activate the campus Semprende and the Center for the Digital Businesses Transformation for the Archipelago. In Semprende, entrepreneurs will be able to access the collaborative value offer of more than 180 local, national, and international partners, personalized advice, training, content connection, and training. Meanwhile, in the other hand, they will find support in their digital departmental transformation process in order to improve their levels of productivity and competitiveness. The launching ceremony was attended by the departmental government, the national government, the Ministry of Health, the management for the reconstruction of the archipelago, and of course the president of the Chamber of Commerce and the president of INNPULSA.
For those who do not know, we have an initiative with President Ivan Duque, the Ministry of Commerce, and with INNPULSA that our regions of the country have a physical campus so that entrepreneurs have a place to work and be able to connect to know the offer that we have. In that way, they would be able to connect with other entrepreneurs in the country on other projects. Today, Colombia inaugurates the Semprende number 16, and this is one of the places where most people have asked for it.
For her part, Jennifer Jepe stressed the importance of materializing this project.
The Centro de Transformación Digital Empresarial and the Satélite Semprende is here in San Andres just to attend all the needs that all the empresarios in the island and even in Providence has any inquiry to how to sell, how to do, or how to merge in marketing digital, or if they need an assessment in any in a special, they can just come here and they can call us and they can have this for free. They don't have to pay for anything.
Specialized consultants will be located in the facilities of the Chamber of Commerce on the second floor, available to serve the community.
In the coming days, it will be 3 months since the injunction was filed prohibiting the entry of land vehicles to the island, a fact that has affected several dealers in the department.
On March 10, the Administrative Court of the department wrote this document decree as a precautionary measure the suspension of entry of vehicles to the island territory. After almost 3 months of this decision, the owners and managers of the dealerships indicated to be plugged into an economic crisis, which has led their businesses to be empty today.
It affects us a lot, both economically and in terms of labor. We see a very significant drop in sales in the spare parts sector. And it also leads me to lay off personnel, because if there is no movement and no sales, I have to lay off some of my workers. Relatively, there are no sales of motorcycles. We have been practically without a motorcycle sale for 3 months. Apart from the fact that we are coming from a very rough pandemic, we must put up with a lot of things regarding the staff. They have families and they depend on us, and we are trying to support them all in this difficult time. The day they closed the vehicle fleet, we had vehicles on the way. They did not let them in. They made us return the merchandise, the motorcycles, and that is the money that we returned to the customers who had already set them aside at the time. We had losses, and we are still having losses, because with the sale of spare parts and technical service labor, we cannot sustain ourselves. The motorcycles help us a lot.
Last March 27, the departmental government indicated that they were advancing the procedural steps for the total and definitive lifting of the precautionary measure, a fact that was confirmed by the owners and managers of the dealerships, specifying that a joint work between the parties is being advanced and that all the dealerships have contributed so that this measure is lifted as soon as possible.
The situation we have at the moment is quite uncertain. There is no decision or something that says what day it will be lifted. It was supposed to be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days measure. Then the information that was being requested by the measure would be presented, and they would comply in 5 or 10 days. But we have been closed for 3 months, and we are waiting for whatever else is needed in this process.
A representative of the Yamaha Corporation through a communication indicated how the commercial activity have been affected by restrictive measures, and it also requests speed in the process.
On the other hand, we have great news for people who are interested in acquiring a prosthesis either for a finger amputation or partial hand amputation. They will have the opportunity of acquiring a prosthesis for free.
The Social Development Secretariat, in conjunction with the Human 3D Foundation, is looking for people to provide prosthetic devices for free.
The Secretariat of Social Development has been making visits and alliances with foundations, and from there came this contact with this foundation, with which we are going to give prostheses totally free for the inhabitants. Some characteristics are needed, such as amputations of limbs, fingers or forearms. It is a test that has been done in other departments. Here we have a profile of people with these characteristics. We only have 2 people, but we need a minimum of 8 people to obtain these benefits.
Interested person may approach the Office of Social Development for more information. Likewise, the head of this office gives to know the importance of these partnerships for the benefit of the people of the community of the department.
In a virtual press conference, the First Lady of the Nation and the Minister of Health and Social Protection announced the reconstruction of the hospital in Old Providence. The project is financed by public, private, and international entities.
The reconstruction of the Old Providence Hospital is made possible thanks to a multi-sectoral effort. First Lady Maria Juliana Ruiz thanked the donors of the Grupo Argos, Allianz, Coca-Cola, Comeva, the Central American Bank for Economic Integration, and the governments of China and Korea who joined this initiative for the reconstruction of the hospital.
Éramos muy conscientes de las carencias que tenía la isla.
We were very aware of the shortcomings that the island had in terms of health care, and today it is very exciting to be able to tell San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina that we have the possibility of providing services that they did not have before. So thanks again for making a substantial contribution that will benefit islanders.
After praising the great work done by the field hospital, the Minister of Health gave details of what will be the new hospital in the municipality. It includes the construction of the physical infrastructure of 909 meters with the services of emergencies, childbirth care, outpatient surgery, sterilization, laboratory sampling, clinical laboratory, imaging, and environment for the hyperbaric chamber. The reconstruction of the hospital has a cost of over 8,000 million pesos and will be carried out through an agreement between the National Risk Management Unit, INNPULSA, and the Ministry of Health.
And yesterday, the Departmental Duma traveled to Old Providence, where they met with Mayor Jorge Norberto Gary and the Municipal Council, among others. The reason for the visit was to follow up on the reconstruction process.
Deputies who were in the municipality yesterday gave a report of their visit to the island. According to the president of the Duma, what he perceived was an omission in reconstruction since there are only 2 new houses and the owners don't live in them.
Well, the reconstruction of Providence for me was very, very sad. I think the alcalde need to take in charge of the reconstruction of Providence because Providence have people that could take the leadership in this process. Providence and San Andres have people where we export people to other islands in the Caribbean to go and reconstruct.
On the other hand, Deputy Ivan Garcia affirmed that there are serious logistical issues.
Más de 800 familias todavía aún.
More than 800 families are still living in tents. President Duque, this plan sounding great on paper, but apparently they miscalculated. This reflects the knowledge they have of borderline territories like this one, because their logistics has been a resounding failure.
The president of the Duma mentioned that the mayor should be allowed to lead the reconstruction and reiterated that they are willing to help in everything necessary for the reconstruction to move forward.
Cuídate y cuida a los demás en las vías. En la vía Abraza la Vida, no tomes mientras manejes. Ministerio de Transporte, Agencia Nacional de Seguridad Vial.